I should have put it on. I thought about it and I didn't, but I've been starting to do, first I take the 2 drops of lemon oil and water next to my bed every morning. Then I put Clary Calm on, and then, no, Clary Sage, not the roll on, Clary Sage on. And then I used a line today from the yoga collection. And Dawn disappeared.
Oh, no.
The shimmer is a sort of phenomenon, and they don't know what's happened to all of the people who've gone in and haven't come back. It is moving so quickly. And soon it's just
Okay, I missed Renee's. Sorry.
All right, I'll tell you again real quick. I used the lemon oil in my, can you guys hear the TV in the background?
Yeah.
Turn it down. I use lemon oil in my water first thing in the morning, and then I use the Clary Sage, and then I put a line on today.
Nice.
From the yoga collection.
Okay, cool. Joanne, go ahead.
Hi guys. So this morning I slept in a little bit because I was tired. I put on Hope this morning.
Nice.
And I also am diffusing Passion.
Nice.
It's my passion.
Yeah, passion.
And so over the last few days, just using lemon and oil because I'm doing the detox. So lemon and water, and I was using Clary Cam because it was time of the month.
Yeah.
Last week. So yeah, feeling good.
Awesome. Glad you're here. And Meredith is here locally. I'll turn her so you guys can see her real quick.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Okay, let's see. Who else wants to share? Krista, what are you using?
I put on Wild Orange this morning, first thing for meditation with I'm doing the Wild Orange Challenge with Carmen. So that's my little morning thing. And I have Lime and Melissa diffusing. And that was from these cards that you had sent, Dawn. So thank you very much for that. And this one is Together We Create Magic. So that was the Lime and the Melissa. You're muted, Dawn.
Sorry, that was my husband blending something in the background, so I muted myself. Carmen, how about you? Are you able to unmute yourself and share?
Hi.
Hey.
I'm on the road, so I'm going to make sure I mute when I'm not talking.
Okay, sounds good.
But this morning I had lemon in my water. I have lemon in my water every morning. And then I also did the wild orange as well. And that's all I've done so far.
There we go. Nice. Meredith, how about you? What have you used today? We're just sharing what oils we're either diffusing, which we're diffusing Motivate, and also what you are wearing, if you have any oils on or have used any oils this morning.
I've used Cypress.
Okay.
I'm wearing Clary Sage and Jasmine.
Oh, nice.
And I have taken a capsule with frankincense, oregano, and on guard.
Frankincense, oregano, and on guard. That's a good one this time of year.
Well, I'm trying to combat a UTI.
Oh, well, you've got some good oils on board to help with that. And I got my kidney stone blend. We all are taking good care of ourselves here. Terry or Terrell, are you guys able to share? Terrell, you want to share?
So I wrote it down because I was like, what am I using today? The first thing I did was put on my diffuser with an energizing blend from a little booklet I have. Peppermint, rosemary, and lemon, and it's incredible, really refreshing. And then I have a drop of cardamom in my coffee, which has been good. And then in my water, I put about 3 drops of lime. And then for this call, I put on the Gala blend from 2016. It's called One, and the oils in it are amazing. And I always use that blend to inspire me when I'm going to meet with people, or I have like some business related activity. Then I put on this blend and picture me being at the gala and, you know, that whole experience. So got it right here in a tiny drop under my nose so that it lasts because I need it for a while.
Way to envision and manifest with anchoring it in with that oil. Very fun. Karen, do you want to share? I'm not going to ask, do you want to share? Share.
It was polite. It was polite. Let's see. So this morning so far, balance and frankincense on, and hope are the ones that I've done so far this morning.
Awesome. And Terry, do you want to share? Are you able? She messaged me and said that her little Geo got up early and her husband's busy, so she's going to be muted most of the time, but she'll pop in when she can. Okay, so we're going to get started with my slideshow, and when I'm doing the slideshow and presenting different pieces, I won't be able to see you or mute and unmute you or call on you. So the best way for you to interact, and love interaction, is to type in your chat box. And if you're not sure where that is, if you just kind of, at least if you're not on your phone, if you're on your computer and you kind of move your cursor down to the bottom of your Zoom screen, you'll see chat and it'll open it up. And then you'll be able to see what's going on there and share, which is really nice. Whoa, I don't want to make it the whole screen. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to start our slideshow. And again, I'm just super excited about sharing this stuff with you. So thanks for taking the time out for yourselves and for your business. The world will thank you too. Okay, yay, we have Kim, we have Chris. We are just getting started. Everybody just shared what oils they're wearing and diffusing. So we have Motivate, and Kim is here. She made it. No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Get cozy, get comfy. Mark will help with, if you knock on that door, Mark will help with making coffee and tea. Knock on that door. Mark, yeah, Mark said he'll take care of it. I don't have my notebook. You're good. You're fine. You're here. Yes. Sometimes just showing up is the biggest, most important thing. And, you know, I do want to share this because Renee, my sister, she's so organized. I'm going to do a great shout out to you. She has a purple binder with all of her papers in the binder. And this is me, the one presenting, who told you to put it in a binder. It's just paper and hopefully it's in order. So you do not need to have it all together and have it perfect to be successful. You just have to show up and keep showing up. Okay, so our 6-week biz training foundations. You know, originally, most of doTERRA calls that starting of your business and everything a launch. And when I thought about that, I thought about rockets that go up and it takes a lot of energy, and that's a big part of why they call it that. But rockets can go up and then come crashing right back down. They can just fizzle out, right? But a foundation, if you have a firm foundation, you can weather storms, you can rebuild, you can create something amazing. And that foundation makes all the difference. So that's where we're starting from. Here's a beautiful picture, a couple pictures. When I thought about a firm foundation, you know, there's that quote from the Bible about building your house on the rock, right? And I love that cute little house in the rock. I have no idea how they built it there. I wonder if that would be really a fun story to explore. It looks pretty sturdy, and even if the storms came, I'm thinking that it's going to stand. But honestly, if they built it just on top of the rock, it's going to blow off, right? So if you look at the picture over on the right, on the bottom, this is one way that people build foundations, right? They dig down deep, they blast to the bedrock, and then they anchor things in. And does that take work? It takes work. And it's not your pretty building where you're decorating and it's all fun and anybody's seeing the final product. So what we're doing today, we're focusing the entire day on preparing for our business. And preparing is something you're going to do throughout your business, whether you are brand new and have never done doTERRA before, or whether you're a diamond or presidential diamond, you're always going to be preparing. You're going to be learning new things, anchoring in deeper, making sure that your foundation is really stable. And then you're going to pour that concrete when it's all level. And then you get to build. And you could build a little cabin. You could build a little hobbit home. I stayed in one of those in Portland. It was super fun. You could build a gigantic castle or a skyscraper. You can build what you want and what you're going to be happy with your doTERRA business, but you have to have a good foundation. Feel free to move pillows around, add pillows. We have some more on the floor. They never seem to stay on the sofa. There's another one here if you want it. Okay, so firm foundation. This is on the back of your build guide. Bringing hope, healing hearts, raising leaders, living dreams. The meaningful work of a doTERRA life. And that's like my favorite piece, right? There's so many pieces of this. Bringing hope to our homes, to ourselves, and then to other people, both physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and that's really cool. So anyway, moving on. Okay, quick overview. This is the Launch Your Success Guide, and that is, see, I have it. No, I don't. I had a launch guide. Actually, it's over here. Let me grab it real quick. See, super organized. Okay. So this is your launch guide, and we are not going through this whole thing today. We're going to go through this in 6 weeks because there's a lot to cover. You can go ahead and feel free to read through it and work through it. But when I read through it, and I've actually been to a few different trainings where we've done it, the whole thing, all in one day. All right, here's the P, here's how you prepare, here's how you invite, here's how you present. And at the end of the day, I had indigestion. My brain had turned to oatmeal. And although I knew what I was supposed to do, I didn't feel like I even knew where to start to do it. So we're breaking it down, and we're going to build that foundation really nice and deep so that you feel solid when you go to do these different pieces. The overview here, though, is really kind of important. We're looking at belief in the product. That's kind of the beginning foundation. And today we're going to talk a lot about belief, not just in the product, but in doTERRA, in the business opportunity, and then in ourselves. Because all of those really contribute to a strong business. Second piece is action. Sorry about all the noises in the background. Hope you guys can still hear me. As my husband makes espresso, we should have our own private coffee room. Second piece is taking action. And the actions we're going to take based on today are still in the prepare section. So don't worry about the rest of it. It will come, and I promise you, we will make sure that you feel confident and know how to do all these other pieces in time. Okay, so first is prepare. And then we're going to start to see results, and that's really cool. Now, if you do have your launch guide and you do have it open to that page, I'm pretty sure my sister does, because she's awesome that way. Over here on this side where it says Elite, Silver, Platinum, I want you to cross those out, and I want you to put Premier, Gold, and then Diamond. because I learned something along the way that I'm going to share with you guys that will make your business go faster than mine. So you're welcome. Just keep that in mind. Okay, now if you look down at the bottom in this pipe, it's a great analogy for the different pieces that everybody has to do this business. Whether you are Laura Jacobs, Presidential Diamond, or you're just starting and this is your first class, maybe like Carrie, some of our other friends, we all do these things. We prepare, we invite people in different ways for different things. We present different opportunities, different information. I'm presenting to you guys right now. We enroll, and we enroll people in the oils, in being a customer. We enroll them in sharing with us. We enroll them in partnering with us. And we support our customers so that they know how to use their oils. We support ourselves and our families. And we support our partners so that we can build something bigger than what just we ourselves could do. And that's really the fun part for me. So that's where we're going, but we're just going to start with prepare today because that makes me happy. All right, parable of the sower. When I thought about this, when I was first introduced to the business part of doTERRA, the Goddards had this great analogy about it being a lot like farming. You're planting seeds. The seeds take time to grow. Not all of them grow, but they're really, seeds that have been cared for and you've taken out the weeds and the thorns. They can multiply. And so I picture it like an orange grove, and I plant an orange seed, and I want this little thing to grow up into a tree. But first we get a little, not even a sapling, right? We get a little something. And then it grows. And I remember being like, just about premiere and being like, I just want to take the leaves and pull them up and make the fruit hang on them. But it takes time, okay? And so that's a really nice analogy for how your business is going to grow and multiply. And I've been doing this for 5 years now. And because Renee was my sister was my first enrollee. And I think she enrolled about 5 years ago. And it went from that little plant that I just wanted to so badly grow and bring fruit to like multiple orange trees that are bearing oranges, and more seeds are being planted, so there's more trees growing all around me. And that's super fun, right? And that is the law of nature. That's the way of all good things when it's tended. But we're going to start first with preparing us and our soil. And this is just a neat little chart. And going back to that other analogy of building our firm foundation, if we say, and I've seen people do this, and it makes me so sad to see, is I've seen people get so excited about the oils, say, I'm going to do the business, and they go out and tell all their friends, and they get the memberships without really knowing what that is and how to help them, and they don't have all these pieces, they haven't done all this work, and they have like fruit for like a month or two, and then nothing. It's gone. Either, there wasn't enough depth, they didn't have the tools and resources to nourish their own garden, they didn't know the things they needed to know, and those seeds withered up and died. And I've seen entire teams just collapse because there was no foundation and no soil turn up. And this is us. So for us, I want to get us to the point where we're able to have multiplied 30, 60, or 100 times what we're capable of on our own as we are right now. So I hope that you would commit with me to take seriously your own soil preparation. And soil needs fertilizer. And life gives us a lot of fertilizer.
I found something on the web about take seriously your own soil.
Okay, thank you, Siri, for being ready to help.
Wow.
Who knew? All right, So we're going to add fertilizer, we're going to turn up the soil, we're going to water things, and we're going to have some fun doing it. And this is something that you'll continue to do throughout your days and weeks, because you're not going to learn everything in here to make your business thrive. That's stuff that you do at home. We're giving you the tools and preparation, which is super fun. Okay, roadmap. We're going to check in now because everybody here is on their own journey, right? You're on your own destination, your own path to where you want to go for you and your family, for what's in your heart, for what your calling is. And maybe you want to go down the street. Maybe you want to go around the block. Maybe you want to go to an entirely different country from where you are right now. Only you know what that is. But I'm going to ask you guys to have courage and to share something about where you want to go and why you want to go there. This is part of having courage, and you are in a very safe place to share this. And when you are comfortable sharing where you want to go and why, you're going to be able to successfully inspire other people to ask that question for themselves and to really start considering whether they might even want to partner with you, or even just inspire them to hope, like some of you guys had put the hope blend on, that their life can be a little more like what they want it to be. So here's some things that doTERRA put up about the doTERRA opportunity and things that could make an impact on our lives, like earning more, having financial freedom, charitable giving, working smarter, so having more time for family, being able to travel or do service projects, lots of different things. So I'm going to turn my slideshow off for a second, and I want everybody to take a minute and share where they want to go, what's in your heart right now for you and your family. Doesn't have to be long. You don't have to spill your entire history or guts or like all your dreams and visions, but just something that lets you have clarity and declare kind of where you are going and why you want to go there. If you know, let me see if I did a slide of this. Okay, here we go. If you know kind of the level that you want to play at, the level of income that you want for your family, it could be just a couple $100 that makes life a little easier. My friend Leah said when she first started, her goal was she wanted to be able to go to Whole Foods and buy whatever she wanted for her family and not have to worry about it. So having the extra money for the groceries that really would bless her family. That's in that pay for your product kind of amount, right? Elite Premier. I know when I first started, or actually, yeah, when I first started, I knew that I wanted to eventually get to the point where we could replace my husband's income, because he had worked for a really long time, still is, doing not necessarily what he loved, but what took care of our family. And I wanted him to have the opportunity to do what he loved. And I knew for us, that was going to be diamond or blue diamond or what we want. And another piece of that was I wanted to be able to know in my heart that wherever my kids wanted to go to college, I would be able to say yes. And on the income of my husband's salary, in the area of the country we lived, that was not possible. So we were looking for other things. And that's me and where I want to go. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to have everybody take a minute and share. And I will call on you. Let me open this up for everyone. Oh, okay. No. Oh, I've got to stop my share to do this. Okay. All right. Yay, you can hear me. Thank you. All right. So I am going to take a minute and have everybody share, because this is part of the courage of getting clear with doTERRA. And you have those pages in your build guide if you wanted to look at those different opportunities. And I'm going to start with Christine, because she's here and because I know she's had a lot of time to think about this for her life and family as she's worked with me over the years. So.
Yeah.
Well, one interesting thing that I'd like to share quickly is that when I first started, I had a completely different goal, just to get my oils for free and just to share a little and see if I could help some of my friends who had needs for their family similar to those that I had for mine. And I wanted to share this wonderful discovery with just a few people. And that very quickly became almost addicting because I just got such a wonderful feeling from being able to make such an impact in people's lives by sharing the oils, letting them learn for themselves how they could benefit their families. So, so very quickly I realized that my goal was going to be more along the lines of maybe elite to silver. Somewhere in there would really change my family's life financially and would give me the group that I really felt that I could reach out to personally and benefit and work with on a small scale. And then now that I'm at the upper end of that goal, I feel like there's no way that I could stop now, because my new goal is to make at least diamond, because I can see that it's really close, and I know that it's attainable with all of the great support that we have on our team. And I really see it coming, and just more and more and more people. And now it's not just people in my immediate sphere of influence, it's friends of friends, new friends, and strangers too that I can influence their lives. So so my goal is to help as many people as I can, and to help others to help people that they can, since there are so many people that I can't directly reach to. So so my goal right now is diamond, and you know, when I get there, I could very easily see that blue diamond would be the next goal after that. So
Nice.
I'm pretty happy with how things are going.
Nice. I love it. And I love how Christine shared how her goal changed over time, right? Because it does. Let's see, we'll have a couple more. Well, we'll have everybody share because this is important. Terrell, you've had time to think about this. Would you go ahead and share yours?
Sure. Well, very similar to Christine, I didn't really, well, I don't know this part, but at the beginning, I didn't have any goals at all. I just loved my oils and was sharing with people and had absolutely no business aspirations with this company. But then I kept sharing and people kept buying through me and then joining. And then with Dawn's help, when she was on Diamond Club, a few people enrolled, and then all of a sudden I had like teams, and one person, the first person I enrolled, really had a vision. Her name is Pune, and she's doing an amazing job. So she right away saw the business opportunity. So she's one team. And then suddenly I was like, oh, I have another team. Oh, you know, and so then it just kind of grew to wanting to share with people. And then I think I went pretty quickly to gold as a vision because I'm a school teacher. So I thought with that income, that would be a good thing to go half time. And then all along, it's been about helping people live, excuse me, my cat wants to join the call, healthfully, and then also being really free to give in charitable works. That is a super strong passion of mine that is a continual thread. And then I came up, I have the card right here with the goal of Blue Diamond, and that's $41,000 approximately a month. That's probably the high end, and then free to give. And just very clearly like, oh, to be Blue Diamond, I need this, I need this, I need this, and then breaking it down into small chunks. So I think I don't know why anybody would stop, to be honest, but it starts off so simply, and then you just grow from there.
Awesome. I love that. And just that reminder that we can always revisit our goals, and that you don't have to have a huge, big goal right away, right? It's not necessary. It's just necessary to be honest and authentic with where you are right now. Renee, would you share?
Wait, now can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So I started off not even knowing what the heck I was doing and not having any plan, just to play with oils. And so it's been 5 years of playing with oils pretty much. But now as we are looking towards Marissa, my youngest, going to college, and then I have another one going to cosmetology school, and then I have dreams of getting the heck out of New Jersey. So, so I would like to be able to make sure that if I go somewhere else and I don't want to work full time in MRI, that I can have this as my source of income and or supplement incomes, and also help to pay off the college so that she's not left with it and that I'm not left with it at the end of the day. So
Nice.
yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Nay.
Yep.
Krista.
Hi there. Okay, so for me, there's a I guess everyone, there's a few different things. One is financial freedom. We have our kids heading to college right away. One wants to be a doctor, so that's going to take a little bit. The other one doesn't know what she wants to do, so that could take a little bit more. I want to build our dream home in the mountains. So I want to have that's just not realistic on where my husband's salary is and all the money we pay out on the kids and dance and university and all that stuff. And I want to contribute to the family. So I gave up my career. I had a pretty successful career before we had kids, and I don't regret not doing that. But at the same point, I really want to be able to contribute to the family again after that period of time. For me, it's a lot about changing lives and being very passionate about helping others feel healthy and finding natural ways to do that. So that's huge for me. And the other one is helping team members achieve financial freedom. Mm-hmm. So it's less about my goals, I think, in my financial, and that some of that my team members really could use the extra income, and so really helping them to reach their goals and milestones with that.
Yeah.
And the one that I also have in there, but it doesn't necessarily fit with growing your things, it's hard to fit in, is the time freedom. I want to have be able to travel and ski and do things with the kids, and know that there's still income, coming in, or that's still there. Whereas being a yoga teacher, you take time off, you don't make any money.
Right. That's so true. And I just love everything that you shared there. I mean, all of you have those different pieces coming in. And that time freedom is something that we didn't talk too much about, but it is huge. And I've had a couple times through my doTERRA life, including this past fall, where I just needed to take time for my family, for my health, for other things. And the income still kept coming in because I had laid that foundation and I had done the work and supported the teams and grown it to the point where that income still came in really well, even though I kind of dropped off the face of the earth for a little while. And that is a beautiful gift. And I know in our uplines, there are people who have taken a year and gone and done mission work, things that are dear to their heart. When there have been accidents and kids, in the hospital, they've been able to not worry at all about the bills and also not worry about taking the time away from their business to take care of their family. And that's a beautiful, beautiful gift. And Krista, you also hit on the fact that the way this business is structured, in order for me to succeed to Diamond, a whole lot of other people have to be succeeding, and they are getting their needs met financially. They're able to, get the car that they need to get, or, pay the grocery bill that they need to pay. And also just having that empowerment and that hope that they can do this and make a difference for their lives and their families. And that's something that, I didn't recognize that when I first started doing the doTERRA business, but that has become such a big part of it. And I know Terry has shared a lot with me about how that's just such a beautiful part about this business opportunity. And when you understand it, then it becomes exciting to help other people build a business, because you know that by helping yourself build, you are helping them. Hey, Crystalline, welcome. Okay, so we're going to continue going around, and because I want everybody to have a chance to share where they're at, where they're going, and why, because we learn from each other too. So thank you guys for sharing so far. Michelle, you're up next. Did I catch you eating?
Okay, no, I'm chewing gum, which I probably shouldn't be doing, right? This is a long time to sit like this.
Confident in you.
So yeah, I'm just, like a lot of the other gals, I started out just enjoying the oils, being exposed to them, wanting to build a business, but not, having the time or really knowing how to go through it. So that's what I want to take the time now, and I want to have more financial freedom, and I would say supplement my income, and just have time to do more things with my family and provide more things for them.
Nice. Love it. I'm glad you're here. Let's see, Carmen, are you able to share? I know you're driving.
Hi.
Yeah.
I
Oh. Hey, Carmen. I think we probably have bad reception where you're at right now, so I can't really hear you. So we'll come back to you, okay? All right. We're going to go, Carmen, I do want to hear, and maybe when you're in a better spot, we can try again. But Joanne, would you share?
I knew you were going to ask me next. So this is the third network marketing business that I have been involved in my life. And I truly believe in sacred signs, or serendipity, if you want to call it that. And when I moved to Holly Springs in North Carolina, I kept seeing this car driving around with a doTERRA sticker on it. I'm like, what is that? What is doTERRA? So, and I just kept seeing it, and I thought, okay, I need to find out what this is. And thankfully Dawn had put, I think he'd maybe put the website on there or something.
I think I had an event. Oh, yeah. You're right.
But I kept seeing your car driving around before I actually knew what it was. I'd never heard of doTERRA before. So then I looked it up online, and I thought, oh, this looks cool. Oh, it's another network marketing business. I thought, do I want to get involved in something like that again? So anyway, I kept seeing the car driving around, and then Dawn had put on an event on the neighborhood Facebook page, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to go along, because I love essential oils. I've been using them for the last 20 years or so, and I'd never found a company that I was loyal to. I would always just pick them up wherever, like Whole Foods or somewhere like that, any health food store. And so I went to Dawn's house and saw the oils, and instantly, as soon as I met you, Dawn, I thought, okay, there's definitely a connection here. So there and then I bought a kit, and just couldn't wait for my kit to arrive, and totally fell in love with them. But at that point I wasn't allowed to work in the US. My husband had a visa to work, but I didn't. So I had to wait and wait and wait. But it was a good opportunity for me to get used to the oils and to find out a bit more about the business, and then know for sure that this is what I wanted to do. And really my goals are to, Krista, is to contribute to my family, because my husband has supported us for so long. After we had our daughter, it was me just working part-time, and then when we came to the US, I couldn't work for a while, and then did a little bit of work, and then couldn't work again. So it's been a bit of an up and down. And so my real goals are, I want to go to diamond upwards. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do something for me and my family, and get to a point where we can replace my husband's income so that he can just go paddle boarding every day, because that's what he loves to do. And he loves his job, he really does, but he travels a lot and it does take its toll on him. And I don't want him to do that for much longer. I think 5 years maximum for him to do that. And then, you know, the doTERRA income can replace that and just keep building on it. So that's where I want to go.
Awesome.
I'm up for it.
I love it. Thanks for sharing that. And you brought up another piece of this in setting your goals and really kind of declaring it is a timeline, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I could get to Diamond, you know, when I'm 70 and go nice and slow. That would be another 20 something years. But I wouldn't have the money for my kids for college. So my particular needs and desires gave me a timeline where I said, I need to put the time in now, even though I have my kids at home, so that I can have more of what I want for my family in this time period, right? And so as you guys are looking, you know, we're going to finish up with the rest of you guys sharing here, and then you have some worksheets, and we're not going to do them right here, right now. Yep, they're here somewhere. You have one that's called Find Your Why. And so that's a really good one for like, what is my purpose in doing this, right? And then the other two, I printed them back to back, not here, is Dreams to Goals. And this is really where you're starting to break it down. Like, okay, so my dream is to be able to pay for college, you know, to be able to have my husband paddle boarding. And so what do I need to get there? And what is the time frame I need to do it in to get what I, you know, to actually have those goals happen in a timely fashion? And then the back of that is goals to statements. And so that's going to be a really powerful thing for you guys to work through over the weekend. And part of this Foundations course, which I am so excited about, is that you're going to have one-on-one and group mentoring during the week. And I'm going to have you bring those papers to your group mentor or, you know, whoever you're connected to. And you're going to share the details with them and just share your ahas, because we can talk and we can hear other people's things, and like that'll trigger, oh yeah, what about this and what about that? And but actually putting it down on paper has been proven to make a difference between just an idea that you have and something that you actually follow through on and make happen. So I'm going to ask you guys to do those worksheets and have them ready to share with your group mentor later in the week. Okay, Karen Waddington, would you share where you want to go and what your timeline is maybe and why?
Let's see. Well, I think mine are pretty simple. My husband is now in what's called phased retirement. And so I wanted to be able to have the financial freedom to be able to do whatever we want to do, basically. And so that's, you know, as he gets further into retirement, as we go completely into retirement, for us not to have to worry about things. But for me, what has become clearer than anything else is that I just have a heart and a passion for people who are in pain. And so I really, really, really want to help people who are in pain. And so that's my biggest goal. And as far as rank, silver would probably help us tremendously. And so that's probably where I would like to go, and then see what happens.
Okay, silver it is. Do you have a timeline for when you want that to happen, or is it like ASAP or?
Just working towards it. I would like to, probably 18 months.
Okay, cool. Let's see, Meredith, your turn.
I think my short-term and pervasive goal is simply to help people, to teach them enough that they can be empowered to
I love that.
To improve their health and their lives. The longer term goal is, my husband loves his job. He's a teacher as well. And so I don't know that he necessarily wants to step down from that, but I think he would love perhaps to be able to go part-time. So financially, we're pretty stable, but having that supplemental income that would allow him to go part-time would be great.
Right. And so that's like silver, gold, kind of?
Well, definitely at least silver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's your time frame as far, did you say, like how
I didn't
far
say.
out you would like that?
I don't know. I have quite a few people on my team, but I haven't discovered any builders yet.
Right. And we will get to that. So right now we're removing what we think is possible.
Right.
And we're just looking at what would be a good time frame for what your desires are for your family and when you would want to see that happen.
Yeah. I would say 3 years.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
I've been involved over 3 years. So it hasn't been quick,
right,
necessarily.
Yeah.
But I've certainly met a lot of wonderful people and had the chance to connect with people I have never known, before, in an effort to help them and teach them.
Yeah, I love that. So. And time frame just gives us what we need for figuring out what needs to happen in order to make that happen, right? Breaking it down, like Tarot was saying. If I know where I want to get, I know how long I want it to take, and then how much do we have to turn the faucet up to make it happen in that time frame?
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be fun to explore as we go through our next couple weeks. We have Crystalline, and we also have Kim. So we'll let Kim share, and then Crystalline, if you're able. So Kim.
Hi. I hear pieces of my story in everybody that has spoken. I think it's interesting that we're so much the same yet so different. I also began by just enjoying my oils, and I feel like I'm still in that phase as well. But I would like to go further. I enjoy helping people so much, but I have a family that needs help as well. And I see myself at about the silver level in perhaps 2 years.
Awesome.
That's
great clarity.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Beautiful.
That's what I would be comfortable doing. I don't think I can do anything more quickly than that, and I think to try and go slower than that, I would lose my momentum and vision.
Yeah, good clarity there. Thank you. Crystalline, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. And you're one of our newer people, newer to the oils. And
yeah.
So
okay. I signed in, well, I guess it was like the last day of October. So pretty much November's when I came on with doTERRA. Still really new. So I know we're totally working on like, what is the goal? Like, what do we see happening? And Terry and I have decided that probably going to try to be silver by, and Terry's going to have to correct me because we keep going back and forth. It was either March or June, honestly.
Oh!
Yeah.
You're on like the speed track.
Yeah, well, it was kind of funny. I just received an envelope in the mail with like 5 ranks because I guess I went like from starting out to elite like the first month or something. So, which was not like, I didn't even know that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So going silver and we'll just go by June. Silver by June didn't seem completely unreasonable.
Yeah.
I work a lot, and I'm a single mom. So doing this has been, even though it's busy and it's a lot of work, it's sort of almost a relief to me. Like, it's actually like enjoyable. It's like a hobby more than a working, because I just love it.
Yeah.
So, but for what I want, like as far as goals, I want more time with my family. I want to be around these types of people. I want to help people. Like, I love it. Like, it's been so organic as far as people just coming to me. Like, people just come to me constantly since I got into this. And I don't think I've ever felt more me than since I started doing this.
Aww.
So it feels pretty amazing. And I want to be able to put my kids through college. I want to be able to not have to work 40 hours of overtime a pay period to try to make things work. I mean, I work probably 60 hours a week, close to 60 hours a week, plus commuting an hour each way. And it's exhausting. And I need that. I want the time. Like, that's what's important to me. I want the time and the financial freedom to be able to provide for my family and actually be present.
Right.
So to me, and actually Terry and I talked about it. I'm like, yeah, you have to be diamond. And I'm like, okay, well, diamond. So like, all I picture while I'm driving back and forth to work is a picture of a diamond. And like, in my car, like, I want to put a sticker like right in the corner of my car while I'm commuting. Like, this is where you need to be. Like, you need to shine like this diamond, like the Rihanna song.
Yeah.
And so yes, that is my goal. I thought, okay, I'm gonna be diamond in a year.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's feasible. You know what I mean? But like, that was like the picture I sort of had in my head.
Yeah.
And I figured, you know what? Okay, if I go silver by this time, or I think it was like, I'm going to go gold by this time, but my default would be, okay, I'm going to be silver. That's not a bad like fallback. Like, that's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that would be my goal, trying to take the steps to try to get to doing that, and still sort of not losing sight of why I love it.
Right.
I don't want to start so fast that like I'm not able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
hey,
that's my goal.
Awesome. I love some of the things that came out from your share there. One was the community and the piece of really feeling like, you're around the people and doing the things you love. And that's super fun about this. And there are times when we do push really hard because, you have a big need of wanting to have that time with your family. And that's a pressing need, which means that your foot is more on the gas than somebody else's foot, right? To get you there faster. And it can be done, and each pace is perfect for the person. I have seen people go Blue Diamond in 3 to 6 months. That's not something that everybody's going to be able to do. That person had a huge network already. They had a lot of business skills. They were really primed for it. But it's incredible what's possible when the need is there. Then you're able to have that, to make it happen, especially with all the support that you have. So I love that. And I love that you've been working with Terry on getting clarity, because then she's able to have clarity on how she's going to help you get there, which is really fun. Terry, do you want to chime in on anything? Or Carmen, if you're able? Let's see.
Hi, we're here.
Oh, Krista. Oh, yeah. Hey, Terry, go ahead and share. And then I'm going to read what Carmen said.
We've been listening to everything. It's just been a little noisy here, so we've been muted. And
perfect.
I loved hearing what you shared, Crystalline, and it's kind of, it helps me to articulate how my why has changed over the years. Because early on, it was just that he had just been born, and and so, okay, watch Dawn. Look at Dawn. Very much about a sort of short-term financial goal of being able to feel more stable. See, Krista's waving at you. And as we've gone on, it's become much more, my goals have grown, and it's become much more about a combination of things. One is that my family is spread around the world, so to have the sort of financial freedom to travel a lot and have homes in different countries and help them have homes in different countries. This is why we were muted. Sorry, guys. But I will just say this other piece. As I've gone on, one of the most incredibly satisfying parts of my whys has been to help people like Crystalline, to help women who are so capable and so brilliant and love helping other people to actually live a life that supports them doing that. I mean, it's just incredible. It's so satisfying, and that I think is sort of an equal why for me, to meeting my financial dreams and goals and helping people like Crystalline do the same. And now we're going to go to an adventure.
What's your goal, Terry? What's your rank goal?
Well, Presidential Diamond. Sorry?
Time frame?
2 years.
Awesome.
2 years. So I've stepped it up recently as momentum's grown on my team, and as amazing people like Crystalline have shown up, and everything's speeded up. So where I used to think I needed a certain amount of time, now I've shrunk that gap, and I've learned amazing. You know, when you shift your timeline and you shift your intention, the tools show up to kind of meet you. So
that's a really good point, Terry.
Yeah, so I've had some amazing new strategies be shown to me, and new ways of doing it. So I think for this year, you know, short-term gold by the end of March, and diamond by the end of the year, and then and maybe sooner, who knows? But yeah, it's happening.
Excited for you.
And I bet you all want this swing right now. How many of you wish you were in this swing?
I love it.
It's really awesome. Okay, thanks for bearing with us. We'll be quiet again.
For sharing and having courage to do that. It's just so awesome how we really do learn from each other, and that's part of why, as much as we could make this a training where it's you know, something that's just recorded, it's just really different when you hear from each other, right? And that's just such a gift. So thank you for that. All right.
Carmen's willing to try again if you have a moment.
Okay, sure. Let me pull this up so that pull this off. I'm sure I'll figure this out. Okay, stop my share. Okay, Carmen, we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, so how are you?
Good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. It really fluctuates on this road, so I'll try and go fast.
Okay.
My goal is blue diamond, and as soon as possible. And I know I need to step it up to do that. Because I really like the financial freedom, and for this to be kind of my main stream of income, and then combine it in support with the other things that I do, like my angel therapy and my Reiki and that kind of thing. I feel like it's a good fit, because the energetic and the emotional side of the oils is really intrigues me, and that's kind of more what I'm drawn to. Not that the physical benefits aren't important, and that I wouldn't share them, of course, but I feel like I'm being drawn kind of more to that side of the properties of the oil.
Nice. Thank you, Carmen. I'm excited. I'll be excited to see your journey, especially as, you know, sometimes our timeline shifts, right? You know, I have a certain timeline for getting to a certain spot, and then I was there at silver for a year and a half. And I'm like, all right, I need to get out of this and move on. And so, you know, I learned new skills, just like Terry said, and change things up to be able to get to where we really needed to be. So love it. Thank you guys. You guys have so much good stuff to share. All right, we're gonna go back to our slideshow. We're gonna be taking a break real quick here soon to let everybody get something to eat, use the bathroom, all that jazz, regroup your brain. Okay. Whoa, I still see Carmen real big here. Okay, I'm gonna move that down. Okay. Now, okay, he who has a why can endure any how. I love this just because, like as many of us shared, we are all in different life situations, and sometimes your why is a big bad need, and it needs to happen fast, and you need to do hard work for it. I know Terry's done Diamond Club, I've done Diamond Club, where for 4 months, we kind of put our life on hold, and we made a big push to get to where we needed to go with the business. And I checked in with my husband along the way, and I always said, if this isn't working for our family, then I will stop today, you know. And he's like, Dawn, we can do anything for 4 months. And if you think that doing what you're doing here for these 4 months is going to get us where we need to go to that next step, that next level, let's do it. And so there's sometimes where we switch up our priorities for what we need to make happen. And then other times it's like, okay, you know what? I need to take time for the family. So my goal to the next rank is going to slow down. So Blue Diamond is my next rank goal. And I was thinking about that in bed this morning. I'm like, I'm going to be asking people for time frames and things. And I haven't really thought about that. So I thought, well, I think that this year, Blue Diamond is possible. But these next 6 months, I have other goals that take priority. And so while I'm continuing to build and support my team and look for that 5th leg and help grow it strong, I'm slowing down that goal to take care of my health and my family as we're in transition in a lot of areas. So just to know that, like, you don't have to hit the gas and be, I'm speed person and I'm just going to go speed until I speed into the ground, you know, right? So there's different seasons and ebbs and flows. But your why really dictates, like, how you're going to go about it and what your timeline is. Okay, whoops. I can make this happen. All right, next one. Here we go. This is my important piece. Life is a journey, not a destination. So we've been talking a lot about our destination. What's our goal, the end point? And the bottom line is your life is the journey and your life is the goal. So you want to always keep that in balance. And just like Crystalline said, doing the business for her, and it's been a lot like that for me. I know my husband, one of his Valentine's cards, or maybe it was a birthday card he gave me a couple of years into doing the business, he's like, doing this business has made you become so much more of who you are and shine so much brighter. And so we can allow this not to take from our families and lives and become this big overwhelming burden thing that's just taking over because we need to get to this destination and we're going to be happy when we get there. Your whole journey at every stage and every part is important and it's valuable. And when I was stuck at silver for 18 months, there were beautiful things I learned there and beautiful things for me to work through. So my bottom line, and this is a quote from me, to get where we want to go, we need concrete goals with a big enough desire or need to fuel them, as well as a belief that it's achievable and worth it. But each step on your path is the journey, and it's called your life. So enjoy each step, no matter which way you're going or how fast. Now we're going to be hearing from some of our amazing leaders as we start to look at belief. But we're going to take a quick break. So I want you guys to give yourselves, let's say 7 minutes, because 5 is too short and 10 is too long. So give yourself 7 minutes. I'm going to pause our recording. I'm going to let you guys run off to the bathroom to take care of your kids, whatever you need to do, and come back. Let's see, my clock says 9:12, so that would be what? Oh, I had to make it hard.
7 to 19.
19. Okay, I'll give you till 9:20. 8 minutes. All right. See you guys very, very soon. I'm gonna pause my recording. And Renee wants me to put the quote back up. I will do that as soon as I get us ready to share. Share screen.
Like the
Your
link guide or
stuff.
whatever guide.
Yeah. You can use this one here, but
There's a link to
in my email. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Renee wanted to see, and it's gonna take me a sec to get everything set back up. We've got our chat. The new levels to replace yes. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go to. Not sure, Renee, which quote you wanted. So I'll let you let me know. And I am sharing my screen, right? Okay, I'm gonna share the screen. Yeah, thank you, Taro. Premier, Gold, and Diamond are the goals. Renee, which one were you wanting to see?
That's it, that one right there.
This one, okay. I'm gonna, sorry, make it smaller again so I can move my little talk box out of our picture zone. Okay, here we go. Ready? And am I recording? Yes. Okay, we're recording. Welcome back. We're going to look now at levels of belief. I'm going to grab my notes here, make sure I'm on track here. Okay, so building our foundation. First, we want to know where we're going in our timeline, and we're going to dive deeper into that as we go through the next several weeks, because we'll break down what it takes to get there. But for today, just hold on to, oh, you know what? Hold on to that, but also in your launch guide, there is a spot on page 4, which I think will come up soon in my slideshow. We'll get there. There is a spot on page 4 for you to set your goals and take action. And so I do really want you, again, as you fill out your goal sheets and you're going to go meet with your mentor person, to actually write your goal down. And I'm going to do the same for my blue diamond. I'm going to pick my date and put it down and then break down what I need to do to get there. Okay, we will get more to that soon. Now, I really love this pyramid, and I wanted to give it to all of you. Let's see if I can get this chat box moved out of the way a little bit. I wanted to give it to all of you, but I couldn't find like a digital version of it anywhere. I just have a hard copy that I got from somewhere. And this was developed by the Goddards, by a lot of the doTERRA leaders, when they looked back and they said, what are the things that that as you grow in your business, you face, and what are the things that you need to get to that next level? And a big part of it is that at each level, you're really working on different things. And that's a beautiful thing. So if you are not yet elite, you're really working on this foundational area. And we're going to focus here a lot in creating experiences. And if you look over on the right-hand side, the belief is courage. And that's why we're really working on sharing confidently where you're at, where you want to go, and those other things. The courage to share and the courage to try. And like one of you guys said, see what happens. I remember asking my husband, like, do you think I should do this? And he's like, what do you have to lose? You just try it and see what happens. See if anybody wants to enroll with you. Hi, Sophie. So we're going to be focusing on there quite a bit over the next few weeks. And the second level, which is up through Premier, is presenting, enrolling, and really you need belief in the company and the opportunity in order to get other people to partner with you and really build some teams and grow past just as Christine so, beautifully put, she had this size of this group of people that she could support herself. And to go past that level, you really have to be helping other people take care of their friends and family as well. Third one is creating a culture. And this is where you believe that you can do this, that you are worthy, that you are powerful enough, that you can learn it. And that's just a really fun part. So we're going to be moving on up the scale there. Here's those 3 that we're focusing on for today. And we're going to spend some time really looking at how we can build belief in each of these 3 areas. And we're going to start first with belief in the product, because that is our foundation. And Christine is going to share that with us. And regardless of whether you are brand new like Crystalline, or whether you have been doing this like 5, 6, can't do 10 years yet because doTERRA is not that old, 5 or 6 years or more, you are going to continue to build your belief in the products and be walking that path. And then we'll follow up with the company and you. All right. Don't fight for your dream. Instead, become it. So Christine is going to be taking over here. And this is what I had. Before we pull out your live guide, if you have them, Christine is amazing at helping people learn to really how to use the oils and lots of different ways to do that. And she does an amazing job of really sticking with people until it becomes a part of their life and they know how to do it in their homes. So she's going to walk us through here. And I have a couple questions that at the end, we're going to have you come back and do a round robin and share. Go ahead, Chris. It's all yours.
All right. Wonderful. Well, when I was told I was going to present on the Live Guide, I thought, well, I better look at the most recent one because there have been so many incarnations of this guide. And I went into my backstock of literature in my office, and I found that there were 5 different ones that I had. And so I found one that was the oldest. And looking at it, it's funny because it's one huge sheet of paper folded in half so that the total literature content is 3 pages. And it's very short and not very pretty. And kind of interesting that when I printed out the new one, I realized that it was 20 full color pages. So we've gone from this little tiny paper thin guide to this really beautiful, well thought out, artistic, and just really amazing, full of information Live Guide that we have now. So it's really come quite a long way. We can be very grateful to the Goddards for everything they've put into it. It is a little hard on the printer. There's a lot of color, but it's definitely worth it for new members to have as just a really step-by-step way to implement the wellness pyramid, which is such an important part of our company's mission to really contribute to every part of people's wellness.
Can you guys see that? I just want to make sure I'm sharing the right screen. If you want to just type in the chat box or shout out that you can see the Live Guide.
And you should be able to see the wellness pyramid, which has kind of been shifted a little bit. Now it's more like wellness steps.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, and I will keep moving it forward.
Okay, Joanne said yes. Okay.
Okay, good.
So that wellness pyramid again, we're going to go through because the Live Guide has a page or 2 on each of those steps. So we're going to start with the foundation of the wellness lifestyle, which is eating right. And the first pages that follow have just great ways to implement our supplements and other ways that we can help to improve the lives of adults and children in our families. They've got a few recipes, so some really practical, easy to use tips for getting started right away with the oils in supporting family nutrition.
I got to share the right screen. Thanks. There you go. All right, I'm going to flip back so you guys can see it if you haven't printed it out yet.
Yeah, those are the steps. And eating right is a great foundation for everything. Unless we're eating right, everything else we do is going to be not as beneficial for our bodies. The second step on the wellness pyramid is exercise. So again, we've got a few products, the Slim and Sassy, some of our supplements, Breathe, Deep Blue, of course, for any muscle soreness to keep us going and keep us committed to activity. And then a recipe for the Choco Peppermint Trim Shake, which is delicious. That's one of my favorites.
Hey, Jess, hold on one second, Chris. Let me just update people. Can you guys see the Live Guide now? Should be. Jess, and for anybody else, thanks. I did, when I sent the email out to you guys about the event, there were like 5 different things to print. This one actually, and thanks for pointing that out, if you go to doTERRA.com and you go to education, and you know what, I'm going to actually walk you guys through this and we'll come back to, we'll continue what we're doing here.
It's a share success moment.
It is. Okay. Let me show you guys on the screen. Share screen. Okay. I'm just going to take a second here because it's really important that you know where to find the tools. And we're going to be going through this in our resource list as well. In doTERRA.com under our advocates, and tell me, can you guys, just somebody shout out because I don't see the chat box. Can you see what I'm doing on doTERRA.com? Yes, anyone?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. If you go to under education to empowered success, this is where all of the business training tools are for doTERRA, and the empowered success guides are right here, starting with Live, because the foundation of our business is us being a product of the product, knowing and living and having experiences that we can share with other people. I pressed on the Live Guide and it gives you the option of downloading it, which is where you can print it out. Or if you don't have a color printer or don't want to use your ink, you can buy a single guide and put it in your cart. You can also buy a 10 or a 20 pack. And I would encourage you to do so because this later on when we get to supporting your members, this is something that you're going to duplicate how you take care of yourself with your team and with your customers. And just while we're here on this little detour, under each section there are videos, and we will go over that when we get to resources. But take the time as you're building a firm foundation in doTERRA and getting ready for the business to watch these videos because they're crucial to really understanding and then being able to help others. Okay, we're going to go back to the Live Guide. Christine's going to walk us through a little bit as we become more of a product of the product. The reason why we're taking time on this, even though many of you have been using oils for years, is because the better you know this tool and use it for yourself, the better you're going to be able to use it to help your people, your customers, and new leaders. So let me make sure that I'm sharing my screen again. Gotta pull you guys back up. Share screen. Sharing. Okay, I'm going to share. Nope, not that. Thank y'all for being so patient with me. See, you can be diamond and totally not perfect.
Question, while you're doing this, is this the same if you were to go into your like monthly order and put the build and the Live guides? Are those updated to this one?
They should be, yes. Yeah, great question. Okay, so can you guys see the exercise page?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, Chris, you're on.
Okay, so so that one is the exercise, and then the next
And this
step
has
on the wellness pyramid is rest and manage stress. And of course, we know we have some great oils that can support. Different people prefer different ones, so it's always nice to suggest people keep trying if it's not working as they'd hoped. And then we have our wonderful emotional support oils, which are also part of managing stress, getting control of our emotions, and empowering us to be able to move through difficulties with the support of the oils. And then reducing toxic load is so important. It's got some great suggestions for our products, and also daily wellness lifestyle habits, which I love because we can take out some of the products that might be contributing to toxins in our home, like toothpaste, shampoos, etc., and use doTERRA products instead, which help in so many ways to not contribute to further toxic load. And when you do have a situation that you'd like to get a little help with from our products, we have a great cleanse regimen that has worked so well for so many people. So this is just a little kind of brief introductions of what the possibilities are. And as your new customers and new wellness advocates take a look at these just give them some suggestions, and they can be the starting point for further exploration for how they can implement the wellness pyramid for themselves and for their friends and customers. Then we have informed self-care, which is where we can really use the oils in so many ways in day-to-day situations, from minor first aid issues where lavender, correct X, or past tense might be good help. Then there's a really brief but really informative section on the body systems and how different body systems can benefit from some of the oils. And it takes an awful lot of research to get this information any other way, and this is such a simple and straightforward way for new members to see and have a reference where they can get started and get to trying some things that might work for them. And then we get to customizing your wellness plan. And when
each of those, isn't that cool?
I'm sorry, what?
I just think it's so cool how like each of those layers is right there. The foundation and exercise and all that. The way they laid it out.
It's just wonderful how they have put so much, and when you look at the old guide, there's just no comparison to all the information. And it's so important for a new person because they get their oils and then they're like, okay, so now what? How can I get all these little bottles to do all these fantastic things? It just almost seems unbelievable. And then you look at all these, throughout each of these steps are just the simple oils that are found in the starter kits. And so there's a way that right away they can use this oil for this step of the pyramid and this oil for this step of the pyramid, and then contribute with other products as they continue ordering through, hopefully through the loyalty program or through standard orders if that's what they prefer. So when I do have a new customer or new enrollee, I really like to get together with them right after they get their oils so that right away they know that they have support.
We're talking about them doing this for them right now.
Oh, we're going to do
talk
them
about
first?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing it just for ourselves right now.
Okay.
Because we're going to get to that when we do
All
support.
right. So in that case, let's go ahead and turn the page, because this page here is for us all to fill out for ourselves to start the process of the wellness consult. And rather than looking at, well, I've got 18 different things I want to work on and how can I get these oils to help, it's really nice to just target just a few goals so that you can just start with small steps, work on those, and then move on to other things that you'd like to work on. So the wellness consult gives you in step 1, 3 different health priorities for your family. And so we're all going to take about 5 minutes. Is that right? About 5 minutes to go ahead and fill this out for ourselves so that we have a few top health priorities and some goals of improvements we'd like to see, and what we're looking for as far as support from the products, and then some of the natural solutions that you can use for that support. And some of those solutions can be found on page 15, and some of them can be found on page 17. So, so you can go ahead and take a look at those suggestions and see how you can use the products to help implement your top goals. And then we'll go to step 2, creating a wellness plan, just suggestions of how you could implement those natural solutions. And step 3, what other wellness choices could support your goals. Of course, there are many other things besides the oils that we can do, you know, nutrition, rest, and all the different levels of wellness. And then at the bottom, just some suggestions of how you could strategize ordering those so that you could month by month increase your arsenal to help you to achieve those goals. So we'll go ahead and take
Awesome. Yeah.
5 minutes now.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to take 3 minutes. If you've printed it out, go ahead and do that. If you haven't printed it out, I will leave that the screen up so that you can see the steps there. And the reason why I really want us to take some time and do this is because it's part of becoming a product of the product. And you know, if we're not using it and we're not going through these steps, then we're not able to help somebody else do that, right, as easily. So this is just a nice little practice and breaking it down, and you'll see how that works out for supporting people a little later on. 3 minutes. You don't have to fill this in depth, but this is something that sometimes if I'm like kind of stuck, I'll just pull it out and I'll give myself a wellness consult. Wait a minute, I've kind of just gotten busy in life. Where am I? What do I need to focus on to get back on track health-wise? Go ahead and fill that out. You've got 3 minutes. And again, I'll pull that up so you can still see it. You know, some of you may be really well versed in this, and this may be newer for others. So, oh, interesting. That was weird. Can't really see it that way. How did that happen? Okay. Okay, leave it there. And I'm gonna set my 3-minute timer. Of course, it'd be helpful if I had a pen for myself. I need one as well. My pen is not. All right, you guys have like 40 seconds left. Don't feel like you have to have it all done though. Simple resource. We're gonna have everybody share an oil experience, right? And share first. Like to people if they something they learned from it. Do you want me to? Do you want to do that? Sure. This is about yeah. Okay, we've got our 3 minutes. I'd love to hear from just 1 or 2 people something that they learned by looking at the Live Guide, just for themselves, just for yourselves, or something that is an aha for sharing with your customers later.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Oh, it's Michelle.
Yeah.
I can't. So I thought it was interesting how this.
Oh, you just cut out. You thought it was
Wellness consult. You could suggest microphone.
Yeah, go ahead. Michelle?
Yeah, hear me?
Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm having a problem with my internet, so.
Okay. You thought it was interesting though with the wellness consult?
Yeah, with having frankincense is one of the daily wellness habits in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought of using it every day like that.
Uh-huh. Which page were you looking at?
Well, that's what we just filled out.
Oh, right. Sorry. I'm looking at an older version. I'll share the screen again. Yeah, taking frankincense on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. Super helpful. All right. Who else has something that was an aha for them in looking at this? Just go ahead and
I have.
out.
Okay, so when I was going through mine, I had already begun implementing using the lifelong vitality, which has been a huge change. But what I found in trying to reach part of my other goal was something to motivate me to get like moving in the morning to accomplish more. And I think adding the Vitalmax, like the energy portion, might be something I want to add to my LRP to try to help get like 3 of the other goals going, which I didn't even think of putting into play.
Right. Yeah, sometimes just taking the time to really sit and look at what we're doing for ourselves really makes a difference, right?
And writing it down.
Writing it down.
Writing it down is huge for me. I'm such a visual person that I can get in my mind, oh, I need to work on that. But if I actually write it down, it's so much more likely to happen.
Yeah. Anybody else have an aha in doing the wellness consult here for themselves? Nobody?
I have something I can share.
Go ahead, Chris.
I found it interesting that, you know, when I first enrolled, Dawn gave me a wellness consult, and I still remember the 3 goals that I had at the time. And of those 3 goals, 2 of them I'm so confident that I've already found the natural solutions for, that only one of them is still something that I continue to work on, although it's really come a long way, and it's just following that same protocol that I know does work, and just being more consistent with it. Right. And the others aren't a concern anymore, so I have new goals. Right. So it's kind of nice that you can start out with just a few and work at those, and eventually they're replaced by new ones.
Yeah, I love that. That's really kind of super important, and I'm going to go back to my slideshow to share with you guys in becoming a product of the product. We can't sell something, well, I guess you could sell something that you're not familiar with, really, right? But we wouldn't really want to, right? And most of us have been customers first. Well, most of us have been customers first, and that has given us a chance to really live the products. And because we've lived them, we are able to share from our experiences, and we're able to share with people confidently, not just something that we read about or something that we heard, but something that we've had in our own life or something that we've seen somebody else have success with. And that's where we can start to really build our belief in the products. So we're going to do a quick round robin, and I want you to keep it super short so we can keep going. But I also want you to get super clear and courageous, if you haven't been before, at being able to share an oil experience of some way that you had belief in the oil or in another product that doTERRA has because you used it. All right, and then I'm going to show you on your resource sheet some other places that you can go to build your belief in the product. So again, I'm going to get out of my slideshow, kind of doing a little juggling here because I really want us to be able to share personally. And since, I'm asking you guys to share, I'm going to start. Particularly when I was first starting to think about building a doTERRA business, I wanted to be confident that these were not just quacky, weird things, right? I mean, I had had really good experience with balance. I felt like it helped my life so much. But I'm like, well, that's just one oil. And I had read a lot of other things about the things that the oils could do. Some of you've mentioned the healing, the help with pain and energy and sleep. And this is non-compliant, okay? I have asthma, and I was really struggling with it. I was on a bunch of inhalers, a bunch of other medicines, and they were expensive, and they had side effects that really bothered me. And I had read that the Breathe oil could make a difference. And so I thought, you know what? This is my test. I'm going to test this out and see, do these oils really work? And I started using the Breathe oil on my chest, putting it in my hand and breathing it in. And it was amazing. And I felt so much better than I did with the medications that had typically been prescribed for me, that I was just so grateful to have the oils with all their side benefits instead of their side effects. And so that for me was like one of those big life-changing things, especially because breathing is pretty darn important. All right, so who has a story that they can share of their product and experience? Y'all are gonna get a chance, so just go ahead. Krista.
I will. I've got a few that I've been trying lately that have been really helpful for me. The big, like flip the switch, your big, huge one is the frankincense, copaiba, and then I mix it with On Guard and peppermint in the morning in the little, what do they call them, veggie caps?
Uh-huh.
And I can tell, like if I don't have any mixed up or in the rush in the morning and don't take it, it's a difference in my day, and it's made differences both for my digestion and helping that, and I'm clearing up some eczema rashes and stuff from that, and also with my energy levels. So it's been huge.
Awesome. Thank you. Joanne, what do you have?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I've been doing the 30-day detox during January, and I only started using the LLV and the other nutritional products this month.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really changed anything in my diet other than I'm just watching portion control and being a little bit more mindful about what I eat, cutting down on the sugar and bread and things like that. And I've lost like 4 pounds
nice.
in 3 weeks. And that to me is like how it. I think for me, the eye opener was, this is not hard. This is not a difficult thing to do. By implementing all of these things, you can get yourself to a place where you're feeling better about your body, you're feeling better in your mind, because things are happening and you can physically see things happening. So that for me was a big eye opener, because I'd only really been concentrating on the oils prior to this point. So
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And I think something that both you and Christine had pointed out was that it can be simple, and that we need to take it one step at a time, or one targeted goal at a time. And remember, when we're sharing with other people and they come to us with like 20 different things going on in their bodies, it's like, okay, what's the one thing that's going to make a difference for you right now, so that they don't get overwhelmed? And just those little baby steps of doing one thing starts to build our belief, and then we're able to add another thing in, and then it becomes a part of our lifestyle. Renee, how about you? One quick little oil experience.
Oh, it's probably my favorite is the Serenity. And for years I had a lot of anxiety and stress with raising teenagers, and the Serenity was like my go-to for calming my nerves and walking through those times where I didn't know where they were, what they were doing, and trying to get some sleep when they're out and about. And so that was my go-to for that. I guess my quick other one would be the Motivate. But I don't even know why, but that one, just after convention when they released that, I kept lathering myself in it and couldn't get enough of it, but I really don't know why, but I still love it.
Right. Well, yeah. Awesome. Crystalline, would you share briefly?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so aha moment. I think it's going to be actually more, well, for myself, it's definitely been a lifelong vitality, and I can't say enough about it. I get sometimes 4 hours of sleep, and I was so excited that when I started taking them, I didn't feel like I was dead, because literally I felt like a walking zombie. And that was huge to me, that like I had taken tons and tons of supplements forever and none of them were bioavailable. And when I started taking the lifelong vitality, the impact that it had was just amazing. And something as simple and baseline as the vitamins that you're putting into like your core nutrition was huge. And so I couldn't say enough about that.
Yeah, thank you. That, is really something that I think we overlook sometimes, because the oils are so fun and they're so different. Like you can get supplements at the store, right? That it took me a while, because I was on a bunch of supplements like you, to get to the point where I was like, okay, I'm going to try doTERRA's, right? But the bottom line is that if we want to help people and we want to build a business, we want to make sure they have a good foundation from which to start. And I've seen and heard different people talk about how they were having trouble with sleep, or they were having trouble with this, that, or the other thing. And they used the oils and they weren't quite getting what they needed. And when they added the lifelong vitality in, their cells were getting the nutrition they needed. And then everything else just worked so much better. So especially if you're building a doTERRA business, please make sure that you're using them so that you know what a difference they're going to make for other people, and you can help them. The other thing, and this is just pure business mindset, you take the supplements, and even if you take only a half a dose, you use them up in 2 months, right? You could have oregano and it could last you a couple of years if you use it the way I do anyway. But you're going to run out of your supplements and you're going to want to keep doing them. And I've seen many, many times where somebody starts the supplements. Terry, you had a story about this, and then forgets to put it on their order for a month. And they're not really thinking that the supplements are doing that much, but when they didn't have it for a month, they were like, oh, it really was making a difference. I'm feeling more aches and pains. I'm feeling more sluggish. And then they ordered it again and started feeling better again. And so that's really, really cool. And we have these experiences, and then we can go and learn from our books and from doTERRA's website more about the product and why it works so that we can help other people understand it. Kim, what's your oil story?
Well, I was looking for an oil that I really wanted to share about, but really what I want to share about is the lifelong vitality.
Okay.
Because that has been the aha moment for me recently. I was resistant to using them because I had worked with my doctor to find something that worked for me, and I really had confidence in her, and it just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I need to try Lifelong Vitality because I can't sell it unless I believe in it.
Uh-huh.
And I tried it. I started it probably last September, and I love it. It has made a huge difference. And I had that aha moment when I forgot to order it for a month. And that was December.
It's a good test, right? Is this
Right.
really doing something?
Right. And December was a really hard month for me. And I think that one of the reasons was I didn't have those supplements for me. Now, I also started my husband on them earlier than that, August. And he has been taking them consistently. And we have seen some changes in his health as well.
Awesome.
He's disabled and has a lot of health problems. And there's nothing in this world that's going to cure him. He is declining. But we're looking for the little things that will help him out. And the Lifelong Vitality has made it.
Oh, that's so awesome to hear.
So
thank you.
That has made me happy.
Awesome. Meredith?
There are so many.
Just one.
I know. Just one.
I guess I'll share the one that I think actually brought me to the oils in the first place, which was dealing with postmenopausal symptoms, hot flashes, swings in emotion, that kind of thing. And so I started a protocol that I read in one of the books that was daily clary sage and balance. Clary sage on your forearm, balance on your wrists or on the back of your neck, and peppermint if you felt like you needed that cooling aspect of things. And I think it worked. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just grew older. I don't know. But I don't have nearly the frequency of those issues that I used to have.
Awesome.
It's made life a lot more pleasant.
Nice. I love that. And I wanted to, I do want to hear from everyone, give everybody a chance, but I want to show you guys, if you haven't printed it out yet, I have a paper that I made up for you on building belief. And I would really encourage you guys to print it out and start digging into it, because the Live Guide is just the beginning of the tools that you can use to build belief in the product. And that is really specifically right now what we're looking at. Here is a list of all those books and resources. So on doTERRA.com, they have the Empowered Life series. And that's a once a month live kind of class taught by experts. And you can register for it and attend it live, ask questions and such, but you can also go back and see the previous months, and they're all on different themes. Maybe it's women's health or taking care of kids or immune system or skin. And one thing, when I first started the business, I mean, I had used the oils mostly for my emotions, honestly, and then decided I wanted to do the business. So I had a lot of other parts of doTERRA's products to explore. and to learn about. And so what I did is I held classes, you know, for anybody who wanted to show up in my house every week on a new topic. And that meant that I had to learn that topic that week. And so I got a chance. So these kind of classes that you can go and watch on doTERRA.com can really help you get up to speed in areas that you're not familiar with. You'll learn things for you, but also for helping other people. We talked about the Live Guide. Meredith mentioned a book, and our two favorites tend to be the Essential Life book or Modern Essentials if you don't have them. Living magazines are fun and have lots and lots of content there. The Lifelong Vitality program, so Dr. Hill's protocol and just learning about how to use those. Emotions book, they have blogs, the Science and the Product blog, if you like education and you have people in your life who ask science-minded questions and are like, well, what about this? This is a bunch of hooey. Those are places for you to go and have information so that you have a confident foundation that when people have questions, you may not know the answer, but you can find the answer and you can give them something to work with. doTERRA's YouTube channel is super fun. I will just oftentimes put the YouTube channel playlist on and just have it playing while I'm doing dishes and, you know, driving in the car, and I'm just listening and learning things that I didn't know before. And that's one thing I want to point out about this. Like, you look at this long list and like, oh my gosh, there's so much to learn about the product. Now I'm overwhelmed. I can't do the business. Christine and I had a chat a while back about how 5 minutes can make a difference. And to just give yourself 5 minutes a day, and we're going to be talking about time later, sooner actually, but give yourself 5 minutes and choose one of these resources that's going to speak to you and that you're going to be able to fit into your life, and start using it consistently so that you can keep building your belief in the product. Okay, so enough of my rant about our different resources. I'm going to stop the share. We're going to hear really quickly from Jazz, who I haven't seen in ages.
Awesome. Hey guys. So my oil experience that always stands out to me, sorry for all the background noise, I play soccer and I have a previous knee injury from soccer, and so every once in a while when I play soccer it will really flare up and be like impossible for me to continue to run on the field. And so I started taking DDR Prime. I got the liquid and I drink it in my water when I'm playing soccer. And it has been such a help. And anytime I'm using it regularly when I'm playing soccer, I don't even feel my knee. It's amazing. Like, I'm just able to run on the field and I feel great. And whenever I forget to use it, it's like immediately my knee starts bothering me.
Wow, Jess, thanks for sharing that. That's something I had never heard before. And that's another like good point, is that when we share with each other, whether it's in our Facebook group or like on a chat like this or a support call, we learn from each other. So thank you. I love that. Let's see, who has not shared yet that is ready to share? Karen?
There we go.
Okay.
Mine is just I keep coming back to this, but at least I'm consistent. Mine is my first, the first oil experience I had, and it was with Deep Blue, and Deep Blue changed my life and got me back on track and helped me start to heal. And I was able to then start researching and start looking at other oils, and it just started from there.
Perfect. That's a great share. Let's see, Michelle, Terry, Tarot. I think we haven't heard from you guys. Tarot?
Yeah, hi there. I can share next. My two very early oils experiences really started me off. One was also Serenity for sleep and being able to go back to sleep in the middle of the night. So that's the first one that made a massive difference in my life and the quality of life. And then I had an outpatient, I think that's what it's called, procedure done, and was in a lot of pain. So I didn't want to I didn't really have anything at home anyway, but on the way home, I contacted Lisa Vischer, who had enrolled me, and asked her what I could take from what she knew that I had bought already. And I put frankincense on the spot where I'd had the procedure. And my pain really went away immediately. So that was pretty incredible. And I have to say, like, my experiences for everything that I've done since then, and that was January 2015, have all been really helpful. And so I think the belief in the product is pretty firm in my life.
Yeah, awesome. And that's what we need to really be successful is continuing to use. If you guys, unless anybody's got a burning desire to share, I want to keep going so that we can get through some of the rest of our stuff. You okay with that, guys? All right. Just because we've got more stuff to cover, I want to make sure we get to some of this other stuff. Okay. Belief in the product. And again, 5 minutes a day or one thing at a time. You pick what you need to work on. And maybe you've had lots of years of experience in this, and maybe this next subject is the one that you need to focus on. I believe doTERRA is awesome, and network marketing is an amazing opportunity for me and those I love. We need to build on trust and on integrity and in believing in the business, right? Like Christine has shared, and Meredith, you kind of alluded to this, we can get to a certain point just by sharing the product and loving the product. But once you want to go past that point income-wise, or building a business where it's not customer service, where you are busy 24/7, where you have more of that time freedom, you need to really understand network marketing, and you need to feel not just okay with it, but really how amazing it is. And that takes time to really develop your belief. Just because I know some of us, a lot of us probably had hangups about network marketing. So, and I am only going to ask for like 3 people to share. But I do want to share because this is really, really important. Where are you guys? Stop share. Okay. I want 3 people to share one thing that they believed about network marketing that they found out wasn't true or they felt differently about after they started doing doTERRA. Terry, you there? Can you kick us off on that one?
Hi, I'm here.
Hey.
I have, limited time. We'll do the best. So, yeah, I didn't know a lot about network marketing, but I had the same preconceived ideas that most people have just from, a couple of experiences I'd had and hearing about, I don't know, companies like Tupperware, which just were really not very kind of glamorous to me. And so for me, it took a while to, I fell in love with the products, but it took a while to fall in love with the company and network marketing itself. And going to a convention was a huge help with that, because I got to see personally the kind of caliber of people that doTERRA attracts, to see the caliber of people that the management team is made up of, to hear them talking and see their hearts and their dedication to service made a huge impact on me. But most importantly, it was the day-to-day experience of what it is to work with a team of people that have not been prescribed to you by a boss, or a company, to create your own team and then to find yourself in the middle of a bigger team. I think it's an incredible, I've come to believe and know deeply, it's an incredible way for women to do business, because it builds on what women do best, which is connecting with each other, sharing, supporting each other. When women are not in competition, they are amazing allies for each other. Way beyond anything I'd ever experienced before. So to have a sort of daily growing experience of what that feels like, to be your own boss, to be sovereign, and yet to have the support of of other women who are all pushing for the same thing, pulling for the same thing, hoping for the same things, but not in competition, who are there to support you and be supported in turn. I think it's been massively healing for me. And I think that any woman who who goes into this business and starts to really give herself to it will find that experience, that it's just not like anything you can ever have in any other way. I haven't seen any other examples of this. I'm sure other network marketing companies have their own culture, but the doTERRA culture is very unique, I think, and really amazing. So to get yourself immersed in the culture as much as possible, and then start noticing what it feels like to have a team of people you can turn to and ask questions, even if they're nothing to do with the business, to know that there's other places in the country you can go and you can visit with these people that you've never met in person, but they feel like family. It's just been life-changing. And so when people sort of turn their noses up at network marketing now, if they're open, I'll take a moment and just explain what I love about it, why I think it's not only is it okay, but it's incredible. It's incredible for women. And so, yeah. That's what I
Thank you, Terry. Oh my gosh, she just like spoke exactly what I wanted to share. So thank you. Okay, are you guys seeing my little monkey guy? Somebody say yes. Can you see my monkey guy?
Yes, Leah.
Okay, thank you. All right. So successful network marketers like Terry rarely retire. It's not because they need the money. It's because they're having so much fun and they would miss the personal and social rewards that network marketing provides. Do you agree, Chris?
Sure.
Yeah. So, and beyond the social and the fellowship, it really is the financial and the fact that we win when we help other people win. And that is amazing. And I don't know other businesses that are like that. So a couple things that I really want you to tune into. If this is a newer concept for you, and you maybe still have some of those icky hangups about like, I don't know about sharing the business. Like they might feel like I'm being pushy or that I'm, icky or using them or whatever you might have about the business. Spend some time and really dive into what it means to do what we do and what it is we're offering when we invite somebody to partner with us. I know lots of different people at stages in their business. You have customers because that's where we start, right? We start with sharing the product and enrolling customers. But eventually you're going to want to have business partners. And so what are you offering them? You need to know that, like Terry said, and like when I first started, I am very skeptical of corporations and companies. I am not like, yay, all these big people who do big business are good people doing good things. I'm very skeptical. So I took a lot of time before I ever started to really do a business and say, is this a company I can stand behind? What does it stand for? Who are these people? And in your, I think this is in the build guide, you'll find some of these different reasons and dive deeper into them until you feel like you've gotten to that depth of foundation on the bedrock, that your house is built on that rock of, I know that this company has the best oils because X, Y, Z. The co-impact sourcing, the CPTG, the quality of their oils, the testing, get to know the story of these different founders and of the way they do business. And then over on this left-hand side, understanding the pipeline and what this type of business does as far as being able to help you have that financial freedom of that passive income that keeps going even when your massage hands can't keep doing massage, or even when you move into retirement and you're not going to want to travel the country doing your travel business. You still have income coming in because of that pipeline that you've created, because of the way network marketing is set up. So take the time to prepare yourself by diving into these resources. So here's some different places to start. And again, if this is an area where you need to build belief, focus here. Watch the videos under Empowered Success section under Build. That'll give you a foundation of the basics of this type of business. In sharesuccess.com, they have launch videos that are awesome, all about this stuff. Their business blog is more like specific different topics and things, but great to explore. If you, I spelled entrepreneur wrong. If you really just don't have a handle yet on what a network marketing business is and how it works successfully and why it's good and how to make it work, two things to really check out is a book called Go Pro by Eric Worre. And the other is The Rise of the Entrepreneur. And that is an online, like, I think it's on YouTube, but it's a video about network marketing as a really, really smart career, life, financial plan and vehicle. The other thing, and this is really important for me, was seeing other people in the company being successful. So, like, I remember starting my first Diamond Club trip and I was premier and I just scraped together enough people to qualify. I had no builders. I was just, sharing with my friends and family, and I got them to host things for me. And I was like, I don't have a success story to encourage people to do the business with me. And my husband, brilliant man that he is, he's like, you might not, but Rosie does, and PJ does, and Laura does, and Natalie does. Tell them their stories until you have your story. So know your upline and know their stories and know what they've been through and what they've succeeded in. And the Leadership Magazine is a great place to get inspired, and that's online. And you can also order it in your back office. When you're getting ready to bring in a builder partner, give them a leadership guide so that they can see other people's successes as well. And a great thing about the Leadership Magazine is it blows everybody's excuses out of the water. You have like senior citizens doing it. You have single moms who've succeeded. You have people who live in a podunk town of 350 people in Wyoming who are Presidential Diamond. And you can see that you can learn from their stories. And that builds your belief that it can happen for you. Okay, I'm going to keep moving on. All right. Never too late to be who you might have been. I am. We've got to build belief in ourselves. All right. So I love this quote. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant or gorgeous, handsome, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so other people won't feel insecure around you. We're all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God within us. It is not just in some, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our fear, our presence automatically liberates others. I love that quote, and I just want to have you guys real quick. We'll get to this piece right here. Stop share. There you are. I just want you to take a second and look at each other. And if you are, where we can't see your picture, please pop your picture up. Let's get all the rest of my peeps here in the picture here. Meredith, join us. Okay, yay, here we are. long way down. Okay, you don't have. All right, Jessica, we're going to imagine you. Crystalline, Michelle, can you pop your head in? Terry, you can still stay muted.
Hi.
Hey. I just really want everybody to see one another because you are all incredibly amazing women. And I would not know most of you if I didn't do this business. And those of you that I do know, I wouldn't know you the way I do. And my life is so much richer because you show up, and because you show up brave, and because you show up in your imperfection, and because you show up with your questions and your triggers and your dreams and your disappointments. And because you are who you are, this world is a better place. And the more that you can feel that in you, and the more that you hear it from each other, and that we share that with each other, the more that you will have to give, and the faster you will get to your dreams. And because it's network marketing, that also means that other people are going to get to their dreams faster, right? So isn't that just the most amazing thing? I want you to stop for just a minute, and I want you to say one thing that you are. I want you to declare something that you are. And I want it to be something positive. Because I could say, I am disorganized. I am scatterbrained. I am talkative, you know, but I'm going to say, I am glorious. And now it's your turn. I'm going to start with my sister, who was my first, Emily.
Well, I'm going to say, even if I don't know that I always believe it, but I am confident.
Good. And let's just go down the row. We have Kim.
I am powerful.
Woohoo! Chris.
I am caring.
Meredith.
I am purposeful.
Nice. Let's see, Joanne's next.
I was going to say I am caring as well. I am helpful.
Awesome. Krista.
Oh, that's a hard one to do, right?
What comes up first?
What comes up first? I'm brilliant.
I love it. Tarot.
I'm passionate.
Love it. Karen?
There's a Bible verse that just keeps popping into my head. I am wonderfully and fearfully made.
Oh, awesome. Crystalline?
I am charismatic.
Woohoo! Terry?
I was going to say I am powerful, but I'm going to say I am engaged.
Nice. Carmen?
He wants Philip to say hi.
Hi, Gio.
Hi, Gio.
Let's see. I'm not sure if Carmen's able to share. Yeah?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'll go with I am strong.
Nice. Jess?
I am kind.
Nice. Michelle?
I'm a good listener.
Oh, I love it. You guys are all awesome. And now we don't always feel that way, though, do we? Sometimes we get stuck thinking other things about ourselves. And so I want to just, for a second, take a look at some resources. It's in the resource sheet that I gave you in your email. Some different ways that you can build this belief in yourself, because what you believe about you is what other people see in you. And they see it because that's what you reflect out, right? So to believe in yourself, you're going to want to take time and do personal development, whether that's reading books or having, quiet time with God or journaling. There's lots of different resources for that. Believing in yourself that you can help others, you're going to want to help yourself. Again, being a product of the product. In the sharesuccess.com library, if you go down to the bottom, keep scrolling down, they have books. And those books are specifically chosen by rank, by where you are in that belief pyramid and what you need to kind of grow in either your habits or your characteristics that are going to help you be successful where you are in your business. I didn't hear anybody say I am courageous, but does anybody here feel courageous now? I feel like they're growing in courage.
Yeah.
And then if you keep bringing that up, you're going to try more new things and you're going to dream bigger and reach higher. So the book that they said for Going Elite, the very first book, and I've actually heard recently Tiffany Peterson, who is a rock star personal development coach, say that this is the book that she's personally using again. So it's not just a beginner's book. It's, it's a really life book, is the Slide Out. And it really is about the little things we do every day that are easy, those little habits of taking 5 minutes to build your belief in the product, 5 minutes to tune into your spirit, into your higher power, into God, 5 minutes to try something new or learn a new skill. And it's easy not to do. And depending on whether we choose to do those easy things and build those habits or not, is really going to determine our destination of where we're going. A couple other things to help you grow. If sales is an icky, touchy subject for you and you feel uncomfortable about that, both Tiffany Peterson and Nikki, the sales maven, that PJ's connected to, are really helpful to get you connected to the heart of sales. Why we do this, and the fact that we can be so confident and we're helping people to help them. And then when we come across that way, because it's truly where our heart is, we're able to have them feel comfortable and safe purchasing from us and trusting us because we're trustworthy. So those are some good resources for that. Okay. And we're going to move it on here. Okay. What do you need to focus on right now? I'm going to ask for 1 word or 2 words from each of you, and then we're going to take a stretch break before we dive into something completely different. And we will wrap that up in a half an hour, I'm pretty sure. I'm confident. All right. So we talked about the 3 main areas of belief, which is product, you, and the business. I want you to just tune into yourself right now. What is the one area that you feel like you need to do some concerted focus on growing stronger in your belief in? And just, you don't have to give any reason, just which one are you going to focus on right now? Because doing it all at once is going to, not necessarily be an easy way to go, right? And all of us have an area we need to focus. So, Krista.
One area I need to focus on, and I really need to just sit and resonate with Terry's words about network marketing being the perfect thing for women. And those reasons that really resonated for me, and that's an area that I've been struggling with and holding back.
Nice.
Yeah, that was really good to hear.
Awesome. Thank you. Joanne.
Yeah, same as Krista, because I've been involved with a couple of different network marketing companies, and I really feel that this one resonates with me the most, and very much so because of what Terry said, the level of support, just hearing all you girls talking about yourselves and just women helping women. And I think it's a definite culture shift globally now. And I think we're definitely in the right position. So my focus is just to be have more belief in the business and that this is where I'm meant to be.
Awesome. Great things to learn. We have those great resources there. Meredith.
I say this tongue in cheek, expanding my empire.
Nice. I love it. Christine?
I think that I'm working on, I'm very confident with the products. I'm very confident with the company. But I am still working on me and living up to my confidence, because I know I can do it. And I think a little bit more organization could help me to step up to be the leader that I know that I can be.
Awesome. So you. Yeah. Here we go.
Concentrate on being able to share.
Mm-hmm. So that having the confidence in yourself to connect, that courage, right? Awesome. Good insight. Renee?
I would say probably me, the same thing, the confidence and the courage to take what I know and share it more accurately. And
Awesome. Great. Karen?
Let's see. I struggle mostly with just consistent follow-up. So that's my area of focus that I want to work on.
So that is confidence in you or in the business?
Yes.
Okay. Terrell?
Mine is similar to Karen's, just doing the kind of daily follow-up with people. Like I plant the seeds, and then it's like, oh, I could probably enroll that person if I talk to them again or whatever, you know. So
Right.
I think carving out, what I would love to work on is carving out like even 15, 20 minutes a day instead of going in spurts.
Awesome. Terry?
I was going to say belief in my team, because I think up until silver, you really feel like you're doing most of it on your own. And now my team is really kind of getting amazing. So, so that, yeah, focusing on that. And then I think, okay, that, sorry.
No, it's just perfect because Terry's already focused, so she's working on that next rank, which is focusing on belief in your teams and the people around you. Crystal Lynn?
Okay, so me, yes. I think confidence that I can do it. I've never experienced having support from a lot of women in my life or surrounding me, so it's having confidence that I can do that.
Awesome.
And that it is the right direction, like not being self-judgmental or questioning the process.
Yeah, awesome. And that's something that we're going to always continue to grow in as well. Michelle?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still having technical difficulty. I would say more confidence and building, I like that, building my empire, trying to get more people involved.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah, and feeling good about it, right?
Right.
Yes.
So for me, I have taken a 2-year break from the business, and so I feel totally disconnected. And so what I'm going to really focus on for myself is just trying to reconnect. And where I lack is the social media piece. I always tell myself, oh, I don't do Facebook. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. But it's so negative. And I know that when I was kind of checked in, I loved the aspect of being connected with everyone else, like on Facebook, on Zoom calls and all that stuff. And so I need to just stop telling myself that I just won't do social media and just try to connect with people.
Awesome.
You've been missed, Jessica.
Yes. We're so glad to have you back. And Carmen?
Hi.
Hey.
I think for me, it's the belief that the builders will come to me because, well, that's what I need right now.
Yeah. Awesome. So belief in, and part of that is belief in the opportunity. If you're like struggling with, will this work? Will builders come? read the stories of other people who have succeeded and their struggles, because it's not a direct line. And the more that we see other people's success, the more we can believe it for ourselves too. Good job, guys. All right. I want you to stand up and stretch. And we're going to go through the other piece of this because, and I'll explain really, like, the belief. Are you guys seeing that? Did I share the screen? I don't know if I shared the screen. Okay. The belief is really, really important, and that's why we spend so much time preparing with this. We're going to be diving into preparing your world, creating space, time, focus, and materials. But honestly, if you don't have belief, you can have the most beautiful display, you can have the best business cards, you can have all the oils and every product, and you will not have a business. You have to have that belief first. So that's why we're spending the time, most of the time there. We will dive into this. Stand up, stretch, have a cup of coffee, and meet us back here in 5 minutes. Set my timer now. Zoom the recording. Okay. Oh, TV went off. Let's see if. All right, it's coming back on for us. Okay. Just to wrap up in building our belief, there is a paper that I put in your email, and if you did not get the email, please message me because it has a lot of worksheets and content for you. This one here is on creating affirmation statements like we did with, you know, the I am. And there's a whole bunch of work we can do around that to help grow within ourselves the things that are true that we may not yet believe about ourselves, right? And also letting go of things that we believe about ourselves that aren't true and serving us. And I'm going to take a screenshot of this and send it to you guys. This is a sheet that I'd gotten a long time ago, and I don't think I have a digital version of it at all. It's called Build Your Belief, and it gives you all the different levels: belief in product, belief in company, belief in you, and limiting beliefs that we have. Like this may resonate with you. I don't know too much. I don't have enough time to learn. Network marketing is a scam. I'm overwhelmed and don't know where to start. I'm not good at business. Others can be successful, but I can't. And then alternate beliefs so that you can really start to reprogram what your brain is telling yourself. So I'll make sure that you guys get this in the follow-up email. And our follow-up email is also going to contain a connection call so that you can reach your leader, your mentor, and we can schedule that weekly check-in where you're going to check in with all these worksheets that you've been working on so that you and your leader can help you grow and succeed. So excited about sharing those things with you. All right, we're going to move into a new kind of space, and we're going to go through this fairly quickly, but I think that you'll get all the content you need from it and have the resources that you need. So let me make sure I'm sharing that screen. When we say we're going to get prepared for the business, I think a lot of times people think of this first. And I'm a little different in that way. Like I shared kind of my passion about us being prepared in the belief, that foundation and that fuel. But as much as I might wish this wasn't true, we do also need to prepare our world, our space, our time, our focus, our materials. And that one's more challenging for me. I know my sister and I tend to be quite opposite in a lot of ways. And I know that she is really good at preparing her things, like getting the whole binder put together and having things just so that it works for her. And that's a really valuable thing. We're going to talk about each of those sections in turn: space, time, focus, and materials, not necessarily in that order. The first thing we're going to talk about is time. Now, success is scheduled. That's important, and there's a page in your launch guide about that. But I want to give you a couple of things to think about as you start to schedule your success. First, keep calm and think this through. Everybody's life is different, and you need to look at your current life situation when you go to create this schedule. I was sharing, I think I was just sharing with you yesterday, how last year my son was living out here. I was living in North Carolina. My daughter was in school full-time with Kobe, Joanne's daughter. So Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., I had time for doTERRA, and I busted my butt, and I like barely stopped for lunch because I was really doing a lot of mentor calls, a lot of planning, a lot of learning myself, and just growing in the business. And I loved it. When I got out here, I had a whole lot of things change with my kids and their school schedule. I had health issues crop up that I needed to take care of. And a cross-country move, as much as I would love to pretend it's not true, requires a lot of time to actually organize your materials, find new places for your paintings, whatever. So my time for doTERRA shrank. And no longer did I have that 9 to 5 where I could have my family time at night and on the weekends. Now my family time is kid time during the day. And doTERRA time, once again, is early morning, later at night, and on the weekends. So depending on where you are, this will change. And depending on what your goal is in your time frame, like we talked about at the beginning. If you have a fast forward time frame like Crystal Lynn or like some others of us, and you need this to happen now or yesterday, then you're going to need to find more time to do your doTERRA stuff. And not necessarily just more time, because you can spend hours and hours and hours organizing your oils, and it's not going to build your business. And you can spend hours and hours and hours like watching videos and learning things, and that by itself is not going to build your business. So you want to be able to use your time effectively, and we're going to talk about a couple of the different pieces of using that time. But you will decide how much time you can spend. Now, there are two different ways that you can use time. One is by blocking it. where, you know, if I want to do connection calls and I want to reach out to people and schedule classes and events, I'm going to block a longer period of time if I have it. Like, I like to have like 2 hours. That's a long period of time. And really focus on that one thing rather than trying to do lots of different doTERRA things all at once, right? So you can block time. And when I was, you know, back in North Carolina, I had 6 hours that I could block for doTERRA stuff. Other times you may find, you know, Terry has a 3-year-old and 2 older kids. Christine has lots of other things going on in her life, lots of other responsibilities. Sometimes it's just, I have 15 minutes here. I have, like, for me in the morning with my personal development and stuff, I literally set a timer on my phone for 5 minutes. And I read my personal development book for 5 minutes. And when that 5-minute timer goes off, I shut it because I have other things I need to get to. And as much as I'd love to play in the playground of personal development for 3 hours every morning, I know that I don't have that time. So I schedule 5 minutes because I know I can do that. So keep that in mind as you plan your time. Those little bits of time when you're waiting in carpool can be incredibly valuable for watching those videos or making those connection calls. So knowing the things that you need to spend your time on and then looking in your calendar of when you can do that. And for me, I even keep in my planner my list of like the next 5 or 10 people that I want to reach out to. So when I'm in the car and I'm driving and I have my earpiece in because I'm legal, I can say, call so-and-so. And if they're not there, I just next one down the list. And I've reached out and touched 10 people and told them that I care about them. And maybe I talked to one because they showed up and maybe I didn't. But having that use of that time, especially, I don't know, I want to say especially almost everybody who has a lot going on in their life, you really want to just be mindful of those little bits of time that really can have high value. Okay, and then if you have a time frame that's a serious time frame of like, I need this to happen, you're going to maybe have to offload certain things into and have other people do it. Like when we did Diamond Club, I gave up cooking and mostly cleaning. And I let my husband take my kids out to dinner almost every night, which I hated, but it was something that we needed to do to make it work, right? And it was for that short time period so that I had more time to do what I needed to do for the business for the time frame we had. And again, just my example of current time, I have health things, I have family things that I'm spending more time on. So I'm pushing my time frame out for my next goal of what I want to create. So take that time and really think through what's going to work for you. And here's just a couple of things to keep in mind. Create a routine. The more that, like I said, I start in my morning and I have just 15 minutes. I do 5 minutes of my personal development, 5 minutes writing my journal, 5 minutes meditation. Okay, so it's 20 minutes because I do 5 minutes of yoga. That's it, right? But I've hit 4 really important areas. If I said I needed to do 20 minutes of yoga, I would not get to those other things that were also important. Plan things out, schedule time for revenue generating activities. When we get to the I, the P, and the E, you're going to see that like scheduling time for those specific things is really important. Encouraging your team to provide solutions, not problems. Just having that culture within yourself of looking for answers. There's always a solution, right? So taking the time for that. And, you know, do the hardest stuff first. It's a really good one. Okay, time for personal growth. Make sure you have time for it. Like I said, 5 minutes can really do a lot. And if you feel like you're stuck or you just are not moving forward, reach out and get some mentoring. Now, you can reach out to somebody and ask for suggestions and just share where you're at, and they might have a book or a video or something that will help you have a new idea, a new way of looking at something, a new tool like tapping or meditation or other things that are going to be helpful to you. So take the time to figure out where you're stuck, and don't feel like you have to do it all by yourself. I love this picture of the fern because what it looks like in the start, it is a full-on fern, but it looks very different from what it is in the end. And all that took between the first and the last picture was time. Time for connection. So when you're blocking things on your calendar for your doTERRA time, you want that personal growth time happening so that you're building that belief, but you really need to figure out time for connection. And I can get busy in my day and be like, oh, I'll call them later. I'll call them when I have time. And if I don't schedule time, it rarely happens because something else comes up or something else takes my time or somebody else calls me away or Facebook is there. So really, this is a relationship business, and it's our time with people that grows it. I remember when we first connected and you were first using your oils, or you first had oils, and I called you up because I had time. And I asked you how you were doing, and you had concerns. And, you know, I was like, did you know you have an oil for that? And you didn't, right? And you didn't know that how to use the book that you had to find the answer. So we took the time on the phone to figure that out together, right? And then you're able to do it on your own, right? And that time connecting with people is so important. And we're going to hit on that over and over in the next 6 weeks in different ways of how we use our time to relate to people and connect with people to have the results we want and to have the results that they want, and to let that grow and grow and grow. So make sure that you block time for connection. Okay, time for training. Jess, I love that you shared how you took 2 years and you stepped back because you had your little family with your 2 sweet little girls to really pour into and to take care of yourself. And we can get really unconnected. doTERRA is growing at a most phenomenal rate. And when I went and looked as I was preparing for this, and I went and looked at doTERRA.com, I found things under our advocates that I didn't even know existed. Wow, they have all these classes already prepared for us, that we have these slideshows we can do. They have these different trips that will help build your belief, and will also keep you up to date on the changes that happen in doTERRA. Our Facebook connection time is great. This foundations training, you are carving out time in your calendar and you're learning, or maybe you're just even firming up the skills that you need to solidly go where you want to go. There are regional summits, and those are great for you to bring potential business partner friends to bring customers to. Rosie took me to one in Bellevue way back, and I heard Emily Wright speak, and I had really not been thinking too much about the business. And I heard Emily speak, and I was like, okay, I have to go to convention. It was a done deal because she just, her heart and her mission and what she showed of what this company represented, like, stunned me and changed the trajectory of where I was going. Taking your people to these events and taking yourself there to build the belief is really important and time well spent. March 16th and 17th, Laura Jacobs is doing a virtual elite retreat. So back in the day when I was first starting, PJ put on, and I think you came to one too.
Rosalind,
yeah. Elite retreats. And it was a time where anyone who had worked hard in the business and gotten themselves to solidly elite, Renee, I think you came too to one of these, got to go to this elite retreat, and it was like a weekend away. And man, we did a lot of this kind of training stuff where we were really learning the foundational things and also building that community and really getting to know the culture of the people and who we are. So we're doing sort of a little bit of a stretched out elite retreat, but if you want like Laura Jacobs and her magic, and you are not elite yet, you may want to set that as a goal with a timeline so that you qualify to go to that elite retreat. It'll be really powerful and good. And maybe you have builders who will want to go there. And then convention, I know a number of different people mentioned just how powerful that was for building belief. And I remember Lou Meggiano, she had been working with me for a couple of years and wanted to be really firm in her understanding and belief in the product. So she went to aromatherapy school and she dedicated that time so she would have the confidence she needed to share. And then she went to convention. And when she went to convention, she had her belief in the company and in the business. And once she had those pieces in place, I think she went from struggling elite to silver in like 30 days, and hasn't looked back because she needed those pieces in place. And convention, going to these events, does it in a way that, you know, not being there, it's a lot harder to get, right? Okay, so time to make space and prepare materials. Some of you, this is like, oh yeah, I take care of that. I know my sister's probably like, yeah, it's all good. You have not seen my basement where all my doTERRA stuff is spilling out of boxes, literally, because I've rifled through boxes that have not yet been unpacked to find the book or the paper that I needed for the class. It takes time. And sometimes we prioritize other things and things will build up and look this way. But taking the time to carve out and get our space organized and have our materials accessible makes our life so much easier. Right, Chris?
Yeah.
Chris and I are going to be accountability partners to really grow in this area because we love connection and we love to meet with people. And me, you know, we love to do the personal development part, and this is
so much more fun than sorting.
Yeah, so so this is an area for us to grow in. Everybody has an area, space and stuff. All right, let's move on to something prettier. Okay, here we go. Things to think about. If you're brand new to the doTERRA business, you may be like, well, I don't even know what I need. So we're going to share some of the things that come up. And there are lots of different ways to dive deeper into this. And we are very beyond short on time. So we're not going to spend time diving deep into each one of these. I'll share one or two ideas and then meet with your mentor and talk about what they use or what you could use. And use the resource sheet that I gave you in your email to find the different websites where you'll find all these resources. Let me see. Oh, look at me. I actually put it up here. So all of these different websites are resource places that we go to. And don't let yourself feel overwhelmed. We're going to go back here. We're going to talk about this stuff, but I'm going to remind you in a minute that you don't need any of this to build a doTERRA business. You do need oils. Okay? But you really don't need any of this. I haven't had business cards for 6 months. And I'm still enrolling people and I'm still building the business and I still connect with new people and I just get their phone number and I give them mine. I will get new business cards. It just hasn't reached the top of my list yet. So know that you can do this without having all your ducks in a row here. But Christine and I will attest that it is good to take the time to get the ducks in a row and make these things happen. So a notebook for taking your notes in. This was something that was really helpful on my Google homepage. I have a bookmark that says, in the bookmark toolbar that says doTERRA, and all the different websites that are related to doTERRA, like aroma tools and Green Air and Share Success, they all go into that folder so that I'm not constantly having to go looking for different websites. So that's just a little helpful tool. Business cards, yeah, they're good. And I've put down 2 different places you can get them. There's more. Don't overthink it. And there is no perfect, so don't worry about it. As long as your phone number's on there and your email and your name, you're good. And especially if it says doTERRA. I've seen people get real fancy with their things, but just like Joanne saw the back of my car had that sticker on it that said doTERRA Wellness Advocate, it triggered something in her brain. And people hear about doTERRA, so they might not know your special business, and they might not be that interested, but they may be like, oh, you sell doTERRA? So make sure it has doTERRA pretty big on your business card. I think that's a really valuable thing. Sampling supplies. You will need little bottles and things or ways to give samples to people. When you're just getting started, and even still today, have your oils that you're using and apply them to other people. That's an oil experience. We'll talk about that next week. And next week, we're actually going to spend more time on sampling and business cards and how to connect with people, because we're doing the invite part of our class. And so that'll be, we'll dive deeper into that. Names tracker. We do need to keep track of who we've talked to. Some of us do that better than others. And there's lots of ways to do it. Oils and products you need, diffusers are good to have, resource books. Now, I like to have resource books for me to use when people ask me questions, but it's also really handy to have a stash of them to sell to people at wholesale cost, so that the people you're supporting, the people that you're enrolling, can be empowered and they don't have to rely on you. That's really powerful when you're building a network marketing business. You want empowered people. You don't want your own little business that you're taking care of everyone. And mailing supplies. If you have lots of people who are local on your team and that's where you're really starting to build, you might not find this as important, but that's the one part of my business that's actually really well organized, because y'all are so spread out that I'm constantly shipping things to people. And I've found that it took me so much time to find the envelopes and find the stickers and find the tape that I finally put it all together in something that looks actually sort of like this picture. So you'll figure out what you need as you go, but remember, you don't need any of this to start. Here's the different resources. And I'm gonna put this back up for you if you have questions to come and ask. You have this in email printed out. I will also send you guys this slideshow so that you can have it to look at this way. But these websites, you will find everything you need. You guys think of, there are other sites, but really doTERRA.com for all the PowerPoints and education stuff. People are texting, so I'm going to look at the chat, which I haven't been able to see. Okay. Oh, good. Joanne's sharing a different thing here. But yeah, I know, right, Jess? My business cards. Okay. Yeah, totally, Turo. Done is better than perfect. If we wait till we have it all together, it ain't never going to happen. So just do it. And the pipes that we're going through, the prepare, invite, present, enroll, support, those are all things that you're going to learn as you go. And you're going to develop your tools and what works for you as you go. And you're going to get better at each thing, just like I'm getting better at each thing. And you can get to diamond and beyond without having it all together. Trust me. Okay. As we wrap up here, and then I'm going to let you guys share questions and other things. Oh, wait, I didn't go through all this part here. Okay. Oil, Life, and Aroma Tools. Those are my favorite places for books, tear sheets, and sampley things. Business cards, those are the only 2 that I like to go to. You can go wherever you need to. Green Air Diffuser, we actually get a huge discount if you buy in bulk. So please take the time to reach out to your upline for that. And then sharesuccess.com has tons of great resources. Now I've got 2 things left here. This one is just wrapping up what we've talked about first. Being a solutions provider means being a product of the product. And then getting the tools and resources, that's that second Empowered Success Program thing. And then scheduling your time and your space to do the pieces that it takes to build. And that's what we're going to start working on next week. Okay? You're going to meet with your mentor. I'm going to send you an email. You already have this sheet, but I'll send it again. You're going to focus on what you're going to focus on and where you're at, and really let them know so that they can help you. Go as far as you can see. When you get there, you'll be able to see further. And finally, okay, finally.
Kim, I can give you a ride home, but I have to leave right now. I have to take my son to an appointment.
Okay, no worries. You're good. Okay, you're good. And Christine's already heard a lot of this. Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So let's take the first step and prepare yourself, especially prepare yourself with all that belief. Dive into some of these resources, but don't let yourself get overwhelmed and feel like you have to do all of it. You're taking one step at a time and building that way. Sorry, you're okay. Just let it be. All right. Finally, this I think is like my key thing. The coolest car in the world doesn't go anywhere without fuel. Right? So you can have all the bells and whistles of your doTERRA business. You can know everything about oils and how to use them. Did it go on your foot?
I'm okay.
Oh.
I got to be blue.
We have an oil for that.
Okay. Anyway, you do want to prepare for the journey, and you want to know how to drive, which is what we're working on. And you want to put fuel in the engine, and that is your belief in the product, in the company, in the opportunity, and in you. All right. So I think that's my last slide. Yay. All right. I just rocketed through a whole bunch. I hope that you guys found a lot of value in me spending so much time in the beginning stuff. I'm going to stop my share screen and open it up for questions and comments, because I blew through a bunch of stuff. And if you need to go, I totally understand, because this is a big day. But questions, comments, top takeaway today. Take a deep breath. Woo.
Hey.
Hey.
I just want to say thank you for sharing your knowledge and taking the time to support us all and be a great leader.
Oh, thank you. I hope that this is really helpful, just giving you that foundation to work from.
Yeah, it definitely has been, because sometimes I'm a bit ADD with the things that I do, and I find it difficult to focus on tasks sometimes. And just being able to use this business as a tool for personal development and vice versa is really, really helpful. And I found out a lot about myself in the last few months, and what I'm capable of, and just limiting beliefs, and being able to get rid of those. So
awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Awesome. Renee, what's your top takeaway here?
Oh, I'm just really excited about it, and that it's going to be that foundation that I felt like I didn't really have, and to help me get going forward, to get things more organized in my head, and how to apply and take each step in the right direction, as opposed to jumping here and then jumping back down here and jumping over here.
Right. I love that. That's a great insight. And just knowing, like, to figure out where you need to focus your attention and doing it step by step. Awesome. And we're going to do the next step is invite. So we're going to talk about how we do that with people in different ways next week. Meredith, do you have something you want to share about like your top takeaway or?
And well, as we were talking this
either.
morning, I wrote down a couple of names of people that are on my team, but that I need to connect with. I need to reconnect with. And so that's my immediate goal is to go home and either set up one face-to-face or phone appointments.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it's the action part of it, right? Very nice. Okay, who else? Let's see. Jess. You've been away for a while.
I was just going to type you a little thing and then run out because I have to put the baby down for a nap.
Oh, okay.
But my takeaway from today was when you looked at all of us in the camera and you had everyone put their videos on and you gave a really heartfelt message that totally made me cry because I've been super disconnected. And I think that for me, like, that is why I'm super happy to jump back in, is because of people like you and your heart and the passion. And I think just the person that you are has always totally inspired me, and just how sweet you are. So that was my takeaway.
Aw, love you. I'm glad you're back. Krista, what's your takeaway today?
I would, I liked what Jessica said about the connection. It's, it's been a while since we've had one of these connecting calls, and I've missed those.
Yeah.
Well, everybody was kind of resorting their life last term, and maybe they're going on, I just didn't know what it was or whatever, but so I missed that opportunity just to connect and to share, and that collaboration means a lot to me.
Awesome. Let's see. Michelle. You still there?
My friends are really good at this baby.
Okay. Crystalline or Tarot? Top takeaway?
I can share. I think it's just really good to all be together, and this content is really amazing and it really resonated. So thank you for your time, and thanks to Christine and Terry, who also were part of this.
Yeah, thank you. Crystalline?
Okay, sorry. I was trying to find my buttons. Top takeaway is just like the whole comprehensive amount of material that you presented. But I think the top takeaway for me is the time blocking and just trying to figure out what to prioritize. Because I know, being as new as it is to me, that like you feel like everything is the most important thing and you don't know what's not important. So that part is a huge struggle. Like, I need to get this done, or somebody, is counting on me for something, and trying to prioritize what's important. So I think that like figuring out a way to organize that is going to be huge. So those tools that you gave us is going to be really helpful for me. So thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. And as the weeks go on, things will start to really fall into place as well, where you start to see, okay, here's where I'm at with inviting people. Here's what I need to do with my next steps there. And right now it's just, well, where do I need to learn to grow and build that belief? And what materials do I need to get together so that I'm ready and able to share and things? So good job.
Thank you. And real quick, can I say one thing really quick?
Sure.
So we're going to be we have an event that's going to be overlapping this training. And I think that unfortunately, since we're not going to be participating interactively, we're going to be doing it at a later point. Is it still going to be beneficial?
Oh, absolutely. There will be a lot of content, and you guys will all get to share your own takeaways and what you're learning together in the group, because I know Terry's going to facilitate that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I actually just had, say hi, Lily.
Hi.
Just show up. So we're going to work on some of the stuff that we went over in here and some other building things. So I'm going to say bye to everybody. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Michelle, did you want to say anything before, I say my final piece and head off? She may or may not be right there now. Okay. All right, so thank you guys so much for taking the time, and really just, just know that this grows step by step, and you're the first part of the growing process. And then the things that we're going to learn about how we share, how we build, how we structure, all that's going to come into play now that you are fully engaging. And take the worksheets, take the resource sheets, and spend the time building that belief and that foundation, because when you do that, everything else will come so much easier. We can have like all the strategies of knowing how to do it in an event or how to sample, but if we don't have these foundational things in place, it doesn't really go where we want it to go. But you guys have this, and I am so grateful to be connected to each one of you, because you really, truly are amazing. And so thank you. I'll see you guys next week, and look for an email from me. If you don't get an email from me by like Tuesday, reach out to me, because it will have like your mentor call times with your upline people, and time for you to kind of debrief together and really hone in on your specific things. So have a great weekend, ladies, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks, Dawn.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great weekend.